Hi, grade 8. This is day 23, page 544, study guide and review, numbers 1 to 5 all, and then 7 through 33 the odds. Not sure if you're going to have too many questions about this, but I thought we'd take a look at it, run through some of the even numbered problems, and hopefully if you get stuck, you'll be able to give me a call. You know my phone number. It's 517-242-3138. So let's start with the first section. Number 1, two angles are complementary or supplementary if the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. So for example, if I had one angle, I'll call it angle A. And if I said that the measure of angle A is 30 degrees, and if I had another angle, angle B, and its measurement is 150 degrees, those two angles, when you add them up, make 180. Is that complementary or supplementary? The answer is supplementary. If you didn't remember that, you could have checked up above. Supplementary is on page 494. And complementary is on page 493, and they discuss that with you. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to equal 90 degrees. So for example, if this one was 60 and this one was 30, then angles A and B would be complementary. I'll let you do the rest of those on your own in that section. I'm going to do number 6. Number 6 says use the figure shown to find the measure of each angle, and we're looking for the measurement of angle 5. Measurement of angle 5. Well, the drawing looks something like this, and angle 5 is right there. And what we're told in the directions is that angle 1 is 109 degrees, and that's right up here. Angle 1 is 109 degrees. We're supposed to find the measure of angle 5. Well, do you remember the concept of corresponding angles? If I take this parallel line and I slide it down so it's sitting on top of angle 5, wouldn't angle 5 and angle 1 have to be sitting right on top of each other? Because they're on the same side of the transversal and they're above a parallel line in each situation. Therefore, the measure of angle 5 has to also be 109 degrees. That's problem 6. How about problem 8? Angle 2. Angle 2 is right here. If this one's 109, and collectively these two angles make 180 degrees because this is a straight line, solve this problem, right? To find the value of x. In this case, what would x be? It'd have to be what, 71 degrees, I think? So therefore, angle 2 is 71 degrees. Okay, let's move on to the top of the next page. Complete each congruent statement if triangle FGH is congruent to triangle QRS. And let's try number 10. Angle F must be congruent to, well, that's the first angle, so it's got to be angle Q, right? According to the way we discuss things in class. How about number 12? Angle R has to be congruent to, oh, that's the second angle, has to be congruent to angle G. Let's jump down to, how about 16? We're graphing each figure and its image. That's going to be a little tricky if you don't have graph paper. Hopefully you do. If you don't, just do the best you can and remember some of the things we talked about in regards to doing these transformations of a sort. If you just can't figure it out, by the way, you can get graph paper on the internet. If you have a printer that can print off graph paper, that's great. If not, you can maybe skip this or something, I don't know. It's not gonna be the end of the world. Number 17 is about reflections. And in this case, number 17 is a reflection over the y-axis. Do you remember what that means? If I have two intersecting lines, and this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis, and let's say I have a figure that's right here, it's going to be reflected over the y-axis, and when I do that, the reflection is going to look like this. If this is 3 away, then this one also has to be 3 away. I could probably move this over a little bit. If this one's 3 away from the y-axis, then this one has to be 3 away. If this one's, say, 8 away from the y-axis, then this dot has to be 8 away from the y-axis. Reflections over the y-axis. Bottom of the page, number 20, we're supposed to find the value of x. Number 20, find the value of x. That's a 4-sided figure, and we're told that we've got a 90-degree angle up here, right? And we've got, what, a 78-degree angle here. And we've got, what, a 2x angle here. And finally, we have an x angle here. Okay. How do we solve that? Well, actually, they have more than just find the value of x here. They say find the value of x and find the missing angle measurements as well. Here's how I would solve this one. I'd add up all of the angles together and make them all equal to 360 degrees. Every 4-sided object, every quadrilateral, when you add up the measure of its angles, it has to be 360. So here I get 3x, and here I get 168 equaling 360. I'm going to subtract 160 from both sides of the equation to get 3x by itself here. I don't know what 360 minus 168 is, so I'm going to do that problem. I get 192. I'm then going to divide both sides by 3, and I get an x value of 64. An x value of 64. So my first answer is that x is 64. Then x degrees would be 64 degrees, and 2x degrees would be 128 degrees. This is the answer to this particular problem, problem number 20, based on the directions given us. Find the value of x and find the value of the missing angles. Oh, let's see, 22 to 24, I think that's pretty easy. That's just finding area of figures. Bottom of page 547. Uh-oh, be careful. They want you to find the name of the polygon and the sum of the measures of the interior angles. I wonder if you remember how to do that. That involved a formula. Let's look at problem 26. 26 is a 7-sided object. Do you remember the name for a 7-sided object? I do. It's a heptagon. If you're not sure, look at 10-6 and the page before it, where they have a table that talks about all of those names. That's a heptagon. Now, how do I find the sum of the measures of the interior angles? Do you remember this formula? N minus 2 times 180, where n represents the amount of sides, and in this case, it's 7 sides. So we basically have 5 times 180, which is 900 degrees in this particular case. 5 times 180 is 900. Turn the page. Be careful on 29. You have to have 2 answers. Don't forget to do the circumference and the area. And problem 31 and 33, be careful. Round to the nearest tenth when you're done. If you get stuck, give me a call, 517-242-3138. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day. Bye.